everybody. So today I'm going to do a review of the ESV Study Bible, and this one is going to be bound in deep brown buffalo leather. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, then stay tuned. So once again, we'll be looking at the ESV Study Bible. This one happens to be bound in the deep brown buffalo leather, so it does come in a two-piece box. It's going to have all of the same information as all of the previous editions of the ESV Study Bible. I'll hold that right there so you can pause and read that top section if you would like. So here are some of the features. We'll have more than 2 million words with 20,000 notes and other resources, 80,000 cross-references, and an extensive concordance. 200 full-color maps printed right alongside the text, 40 illustrations, 200 plus charts, and over 50 articles. So this one is loaded with information. It does give us some examples of what that layout is going to look like. And here is the ISBN number. This particular one does retail for $149.99. You can find it for less online, and as always, there will be some links in the description box. You can also get this one in various cover options. I'll link some different reviews down below in the description box, so if this one is a little bit pricey for you, check out some of the other ones. This Bible here measures out at 9 3/4 inches tall by 7 inches wide, and it is 2 1/8 inches thick. So this thing is massive. So we've got brown head and tail bands. We've got our gold gilding. So it looks really nice, and this thing is like a brick. We've got our deep brown buffalo leather. It is perimeter stitched, and you can see that's got a really nice grain pattern on that. Really pretty. On the spine we'll have Holy Bible, ESV, English Standard Version, and Crossway. And then we've got those raised hubs, and that just looks really nice, and the grain pattern on there just makes that spine look really good. The back will just be plain on the back. This one will have a vinyl paste down liner, so if you do want an edge-lined edition, you would have to opt for either the heirloom edition or the deep brown cowhide. So I'll have a few pages of blank cardstock, great for notes. We've got some stitching here, so it does have a nice sewn binding. So a lot of pages to jot down some notes in here. Then we've got our presentation page, which is on a glossy page, so if you fill that out and you gift it to somebody, make sure that ink is dry before you try closing it or turning the page. We'll also have pages for marriages, births and adoptions, and one for deaths. Then we'll get right into our title pages. So this one here was printed in China, and it does utilize the 2016 edition of the text. We'll have our contents page, and one thing too that we can see is this is laying completely open for us, and we're not even into the biblical text yet. So in the content section you'll have all the articles and the resources, a page for all of the illustrations, the abbreviations. We've got an introduction to the user's guide of this particular study Bible. So this is really helpful information. There are a ton of contributors on this one. So as I flip through these, you can see there's a lot of information there with people. We will have a preface to the ESV. We've got an overview of the Bible. So this is a survey of the history of salvation. So that's some really neat information. And then we get right into the Old Testament. We will have some articles right off the bat. We'll have the theology of the Old Testament. We've got the date of the Exodus. We've got an introduction to the Pentateuch. We'll get into the introduction to Genesis, and the introductions in this study Bible are loaded with good information. You'll have the arrangement of the book, various themes and key themes, the history of salvation summary, Genesis and history, Genesis and science, reading Genesis in the 21st century, and then we've got the literary features and an outline. So a ton of information before we even get into the biblical text. And then we get right into Genesis. So we've got a single column layout for the biblical text, which is going to be in a 9-point font. And I'm really glad that the references are on the inside column. That way the biblical text can sit on the flattest portion of the page and not fall down into the gutter. All of our study notes will be in a 2-column layout. So I'll get you a close-up of the text when we get into a little bit better of a section. But as far as study notes in this one, there are a ton of study notes in this particular Bible. So this edition is going to have over 200 maps right alongside the biblical text. So it's really handy to be able to see them right where you need to be able to see them. So I'm going to get you a close-up of the text right here in Genesis 16. So here's a close-up of our text. Again, it's going to be a 9-point font. They also offer this study Bible in a personal size as well as a large print edition. So if you're a note taker, you can see in these columns with our cross references, there's a ton of space for you to jot down some notes. The margins are going to be a 1/2 inch. So if you did want to take some small notes, you definitely can, but you can also utilize all of that space there. So I'm going to flip through this and we'll see some various different charts and everything in here. And again, it's just going to be scratching the surface as far as what this Bible has to offer. So here's a really good look at how flat this biblical text is, and that's because these references are closer to the gutter. So I really like the layout of this one. Here's a 2-page spread on Jerusalem in the time of Nehemiah. So really a neat illustration there. So we've got the layout of the Psalms. If you've never read from the ESV Study Bible, I would definitely recommend this. It should definitely be one that is pretty much on the shelf of every Christian. We'll get back to the back of the Old Testament, and then we're going to have a background to the New Testament. So it goes over the time between the 2 testaments. So basically those 400 silent years. We've got a really neat chart on the Jewish and Roman rulers. So it will have all of the dates on this outer column, but really a neat 2-page spread. Then we've got the intertestamental events timeline. We've got the Herodian dynasty. So this is really neat, this chart. Just awesome information in this one. Then we've got the Roman Empire and the Greco-Roman world at the time of the New Testament. So this stuff is just fascinating to me. Then we've got the Jewish groups at the time of the New Testament, and then we get into the New Testament. So this study Bible is just packed with so much stuff in it. So it starts with the theology of the New Testament. Then we've got the timeline. We've got the date of Jesus' crucifixion, reading the Gospels and Acts. So again, this particular study Bible is going to have over 50 articles in it on various topics of theology, ethics, and biblical teachings. So tons of stuff in this one. Again, each book starts with a nice introduction, so a lot of really good information in the introductions. Gives you a map so you kind of have a good idea of where each book starts. And then each book's going to be filled with tons and tons of notes. You've got lots of cross-references, lots of maps and charts. So we'll see some of the charts and everything in the New Testament. This one here is Jerusalem in the time of Jesus. So this is really neat. Nice 2-page spread. So if you've never looked at the ESV Study Bible, definitely check one out because they're awesome. This is the Temple Mount in the time of Jesus. Then this one here is Herod's temple in the time of Jesus. So it does have the little different cutouts and everything. So super, super neat. And then it's got a little guy standing on the porch. So it gives you an idea of the size. And I don't even think with the technology that we have these days, I don't think we can do as good of building things as they did back then. Or so it doesn't seem. So we're going to see our ribbon. So we do have one ribbon. It is a deep brown. It is just a single-sided satin, but at least we do have one. I would love to see them add for the study Bibles, especially ones that are this thick, to do at least 3 ribbons in them. I'll probably add some ribbons to this one. So this 2-page spread is on Herod's temple complex in the time of Jesus. So we've got the Temple Mount here, and it's really neat to be able to see the various arches and gates. And then we've got the We've got the first wall, the second wall. We've got the garden. So it's just really neat to see some of these artist renditions. We've got one on the tomb of Jesus there. This chart here, which is in Acts, it gives us the major events in the life of the Apostle Paul. But just this one, I mean, if you pick this one up and you start reading from it, you're going to find yourself hours later trying to pull yourself away from it. So we get back to the end of Revelation. This is just going to be black letter only, so you won't have any words of Christ in red. And then we get back to the articles. And I'm just going to show some of them because, again, there's over 50. We've got an overview of biblical doctrine. We've got an overview of biblical ethics. We've got an article on interpreting the Bible, the reliability of Bible manuscripts, so that is a really good one. We've got archaeology in the Bible, which I think all the archaeology is just fascinating. We've got one on the Septuagint, the Bible and world religions, so this is a really good one here. We've got a history of salvation in the Old Testament, preparing the way for Christ. And that's all in a 3-column layout, and that's really neat. This page here, and you can see that it's a small print, 3 columns. This is just the charts and diagrams. So there is a lot. This page here is all of the maps. Again, we'll have 200 full-color maps within the biblical text itself, plus we'll have the maps in the back. Then we get into the concordance, which the ESV has over 757,000 words. And so in order to have a concordance that's not larger than this Bible, what they've done is they've got more than 300,000 verse listings for nearly 14,000 different words. So a lot of information in this. If you want, you can always go to esv.org and check out more information. So we've got our 3-column layout. The words will be done in bold. I'm not sure what the font size is, but I don't have any problem reading from that. Of course, I always want larger font, but I also have to be able to pack around the Bible and be able to use it. So then we'll have a 1-year reading plan, gives you readings from different parts of the Bible, so I do like that. So then we get into our Bible maps. We'll have 15 maps here in the back, but again, we've got over 200 within the text itself. So these will be on a shinier paper. So we've got our 2-page spread there. I do really like the colors in these. We've got some stitching there. So nice sewn binding. And again, if you want an edge-lined edition, check out the deep brown cowhide. That cover is absolutely gorgeous. And then they did also do an heirloom edition. I'm not sure if that one is still in print or not. But really nice colors in these maps. I think these maps, even though they're super simple as far as color-wise, they're really easy on the eyes, and I like that. And we've got a few more blank pages, so additional space for notes. And then we just get back to the back of the Bible. But the ESV Study Bible, I think, is one of the best study Bibles that you can get. And again, you can get it in this cover design. You can get imitation leather, hardcover, cowhide, goat skin, tons of different options. You can get a large print and a personal size. This one happens to be the deep brown buffalo leather. There again is the ISBN number. I'll link various cover options down in the description box. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And also, if you're not already subscribed, click that little subscribe button. Alright, thanks for watching. Have a great day. Hi baby, what you doing, handsome? You come to see mommy? Hi buddy, I love you. We hear Rowdy drinking his water in the background.